Boom, baby, we're live. What's up, boys? Welcome to Interview with the Man, Monday night, episode 846, How to Get a Hotter Girlfriend in 2025. As you know, I'm actually on the ground doing live research compared to a lot of other dating coaches that just read stuff online and then assume that they know something without talking to girls. And I really figured out what it is you need to do to get a hotter girlfriend in 2025. If you're a kind of guy, we're going to talk about two kind of guys today. We're going to talk about the guy who you're stuck with that girl, who you kind of you kind of feel like you're outgrown her a little bit. I'm going to let you know if you think you've outgrown a girl, but the reality is you have a good girl and you just don't know how to get the hotter girlfriend another way. And then the third one is the guy with no girlfriend. We're going to talk about how to boss you up and so much more. Today's going to be a very value-driven episode, as all my episodes are, really. So thank you guys for being here today. And we're going to jump right into it right now. So don't touch that dial. If you're watching in a 1950s television set where you click, click, click. But until then, we'll be right back.
Connection established.
Make money, make muscles, learn game, hold frame. It starts with learning dating, and then you move on to something else to push humanity forward. That is the philosophy of modern life dating. I am teaching you how to be strong. I am teaching you how to be powerful. So when bad things happen to you, you don't quit. Okay, because you don't know how. Because you don't know.
No, if I'm not going to explain to myself.
Listen, in normal conversation where people aren't sitting around and patronizing you because you're loud and obnoxious, and a lot of people don't want to confront you and tell you that. But I'll tell you that right now, young lady. You're very loud and obnoxious and you're rude.
You wanted to blow it up and make me seem like something I'm not, and I didn't appreciate that. But that's okay.
Did
you
can
do what you want to do for your content.
Oh boy, somebody's triggered.
And
She's
you can do
triggered.
that. No, Adam sent me a clip.
You should want a woman that you can build with.
She can build me a sandwich.
My man.
It's common sense in every other country in the god world, but here you got to get out a god Venn diagram and be like, hey, don't post half-naked photos of yourself because you're going to attract fucking predators. Such a good intro video. You know, I was looking at myself in the camera here because that's what you do as a YouTuber. Look at this. Look at like just how the angle does this. Look at this is like the actual size of my right arm, and then look at my left arm. This looks like I just live on Pornhub. This looks like I'm just, when in doubt, whip it out. And then this looks like I don't do it. But then if you switch around, the angles, they are quite deceptive. CA says, as a female, I always thought Nat was annoying AF. I would just like to say, I think she lost a lot of weight because of me, because she kind of got in the spotlight after our little squabble, having to deal with her not really well thought out opinion. And then, the hordes that supported me in the movement, they did their thing. So we're making the world a better place. Hallelujah to the Lamb. Welcome aboard. How's everybody doing? Hello to my darling Brooklyn. How are you, baby? Nice to see you. When in doubt, whip it out. Good first date advice. No, that is terrible advice. We do not support that here on the Modern Life Dating channel. How's everybody doing, guys? Thanks for being with me today. Another day, another dollar, another week. Let's go. Another value packed week. we have so much to cover, guys. I'm learning so much about how to more effectively deliver quality content to increase the quality of your dating life for you guys watching at home. And it just amazes me how many of you guys I have helped. I'm not trying to, you know, do this to myself a little too much here. But I've just been reaching. A lot of you guys have been reaching out. I want to talk about somebody real quick. I really want to give this guy a special shout out. His name is Victor. Victor called in to Free Consultation Friday 2 weeks ago, I believe. And he was just talking about how, I don't know if cold approach can work. I've heard people say cold approach doesn't work, blah, 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 whatever, right? Now, the problem with that statement is cold approach is the oldest and most effective way of picking up girls in the history of humankind. So I don't exactly know where people get off saying cold approach is dead. I think your game was never alive for those people who say that. Anyways, long story short, Victor is a stud. He's a killer. He's a 25-year-old man. He is doing very well for himself. He takes his stuff very seriously. He's a fit guy. And he has his money right. He took his education seriously, and he's on a very good path. He cold approached I think 6 girls, and he already got 2 numbers and dates. So I'm just telling you, if you listen to what I say, because Victor did what I said, he got on the coaching call with me on the Free Consultation Friday. Then he joined monthly coaching. We did an onboarding call. And with the onboarding calls, here's the thing, okay? If I can tell that you're going to actually do what I say and you're a coachable, good listener, good student, then I'm going to talk to you way longer than an initial 15, 20 minutes. Me and Victor actually spoke for an hour, but I like talking to younger men who are serious about edifying themselves and leveling up, because that is the future. In my opinion, it's easier to help the younger guys in their 20s because when you guys, I'm going to talk about men in general here, okay? When a guy hits, 35 and onwards, if he doesn't really have high levels of self-awareness and he's not very introspective, he's not going to be very coachable. And that's because people get set in their ways. Now, that being said, because he's so set in his ways, I just a lot of these older guys, they get, and it's funny because I thought it was just particular to me where people would book a coaching call with me and then try to argue with me or debate with me. And I'm just like, why are we here? I haven't played this in a while, but really the why are we here just to suffer meme plays in my head when I'm just like, so I don't get it. Are you lonely? Why did you get on a call with me to argue with me? Which is funny. But then I went to this Hormozy event and then I just saw how oh, wait a minute. These people are here and they're arguing with Hormozy. So I think it's just a human condition kind of thing. And the bottom line is very, very, very simple. Okay. If you do what I say, you will be like the thousands and thousands of men who have worked with me directly, that you will get pretty much everything you want if you follow my advice. If you don't, then good luck. Okay. Just good luck. Oh, look at that. The man himself is watching. Look at you, Mr. Studious. Yeah, this is the guy right here. This is Victor. Wow, you're still watching. Look at you. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah. And I have seen these girls. These girls are not some ham planets. These are some very cute girls. He actually had an insta date with a girl that he cold approached and then had a date with her that night. So I want to let you guys know that your belief system, if you're not getting what you want in dating, it's because your belief system and the internal dialogue you have going on within yourself is incorrect. And that's why you feel pain. That's why you feel the pain of loneliness. That's why you feel the pain of rejection. That's why you kind of become this isolated man that seems a little bit defeated because you believe something that's not true. Okay. Everything that we do as humans, a lot of it is geared towards reproduction. And that's what dating is. Okay. And so that being said, yes, Victor is indeed a champ. He's a good guy. That being said, there's nothing wrong with you. There's just something wrong with the way you're going about doing things. And if you change your ways, you'll get different results. If you keep doing what you keep doing, you're going to keep getting what you keep getting. Bottom line. So I had a great weekend. I love talking to all these guys, and I have so many more onboarding calls to do because the monthly coaching, we have some really, really, really good momentum in there. And that is what really makes me happy. That is what really puts a smile on my face and helps me really wake up and knock things out at a higher degree because I just know that I'm helping as many people as possible. All you guys that come in here religiously, you click the like button, you watch, you pay attention. You guys are the salt of the earth. And I just totally am so grateful to be able to be here and, just serve you guys because that's what it's all about. It's all about serving people. I could take like the low hanging fruit route and like post a bunch of owning feminism stuff and like that, but it doesn't get anybody anywhere. Okay. So we're going to talk in great depth today. We're going to pull out the whiteboard and I really just want to do my best to show you guys that you can have a happy life. There are good women out there. And yeah, we're going to talk about that and so much more. But first, it's time to go to my favorite part of the show. Okay. My favorite part of the show. Comment review. So we're going to go to Free Consultation Friday and take a look at this. And yes, that's right. Billy Patterson excited for comment review. Billy Patterson, I'm excited because we're friends. 71 positive upvotes. We got to get these numbers up. We got 1,000 people watching, but I want to get this to be like 200 consistently. So if you just want to go ahead and give me a thumbs up every time you're here, it would be great. The new next pod is in the house. He says, great episode, MLD. The marketing advice was classic. Thanks so much. Siege is in the house. He says, glad I was able to make this free consultation Friday. Much needed advice. Thanks, MLD. I'm working on my voice. Awesome. That dude Tazo was fire. Bring it back. Drop some sauce. That's him on there. Biased opinion. You're all good. A lot of inspiration day. Aaron McDonald in the chat. Mighty Zane, great insight as always. What are your thoughts on President Trump's first 100 days in office? I think he's doing a great job. W Scream, Guak, and W Parth by Adam Gerksgunner. Yeah, dunking on hoes is fun, but like it really is just like, at this point, it's like going to the Special Olympics and making fun of retarded people. Like at some point, you're gonna be like, okay, this is kind of boring. This really don't want to deal with it. Thank you so much to all my peoples watching. So yeah. Yeah, man. Oh boy. The conundrum of dating. So should we just jump right into it? I think white people are cooked. Can you elaborate? White people seem to be doing pretty good. But yeah, shout out to Real John Kennedy in the house. Boom, 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 boom. Aaron, shout out to you. Shout out to Mike Harton. Shout out to the man, the myth, the legend himself. Where's he at? Dr. B, shout out to you. And then head moderator in the chat, Billy, shout out to you. And then Savvy, shout out to you. Once again, shout out to you, Victor. And anybody else in the chat that wants to get a shout out, drop a comment. I'll say what's up. So, okay. This is like a little bit of a more, hey, Jason, what's up, buddy? Shout out to you. He says, being white is good. I can tell you, as a half white man, I concur. I'm proud to be white and Trinidadian. And you should be proud to be whatever you are. You should love yourself. So anyways, we've got to talk about what is going on with this situation, okay? So we are just going to go and jump right into it, okay? So today's episode is going to be breaking it down for 3 parts, okay? There's going to be 3 categories of men that I'm talking to, okay? The first category, man, is you have a girlfriend, but want hotter, okay? That is a tricky one, but we'll talk about that in a second, okay? The second part is you do not have a girlfriend, okay? And you just want a hotter girlfriend in general. And then it is you may be a bit delusional. That's the third part right there. So we're going to talk about this right here. Okay. Shout out to you. What's up, Zach? So here's where we are. Okay. You are in one of these categories as a man. Okay. Now, I want to see you're delusional, but have a, okay. So that's where we are. Okay. So first one we're going to talk about is very simple. Okay. You do not have a girlfriend. Okay. So the number one thing to handle in regards to your journey of getting a girlfriend is volume. Okay. Now, when I say volume, it means volume of approaches. Okay. Now, if you do not do a lot of volume of approaches, you are going to have a lower probability of getting a hotter girlfriend. And here's why, okay? We're going to say these girls that are 5s, these girls that are 0s, and these girls that are 10s, right? On a hotness score. Okay. So the more approaches you make, right? You're more likely going to be, most guys approach girls here. Actually, I'll make this a little bit. This is like the 5 to 7 range. Okay. So a lot of guys, this is where they put all their effort points, right? Each dot represents one approach. Okay. Now, the reason why you don't have a hotter girlfriend, it is multifaceted, but it's very easy to solve. Okay. The biggest and most important thing is your guys' sample size of approaching hot girls, like in your life, is like this much. You talk to like 7 girls, and then you really, really hot girls, and then you're like, oh man, I wonder why I don't have a hot girlfriend. Everybody talks to girls in the 5 to 7 category because they are not afraid to talk to these girls. They think, oh, I can get these girls. So this is where I will approach. Okay. But you have not because you ask not, right? The only way to get more attractive women is to talk to attractive women. Okay. That's the only way, period. Okay. Now, that being said, okay, what's going to happen here is the biggest problem with men in general is just that they don't approach. They don't do any, they do barely any approaches. Okay. And as time goes on, they make less and less approaches, and then they wonder why they have less and less results. And the bottom line is effort is the great equalizer. Okay. The more attractive women you talk to, the better. Now, here's another part that's really, really problematic. Okay. Men think, okay, these are false beliefs about dating that men have. Okay. They think to get a hot girl, you must have the couple of these things. Okay. You think you have to be rich. You think you have to be jacked. You think you have to be shredded. I'll adjust this in a second. You think you have to be famous, nice car. Okay. This is the average belief of the average man. And now all of these things, if you can actually pull these off while also having game, then that's a different story. Okay. They think that you must have these things here in order to get these girls here. And again, that is not the case, because if this is something that a woman is judging you on to decide whether she wants to keep you or not, okay, that is a guaranteed recipe for a failed relationship, period. Okay. This leads to this, period. Okay. And that's a big problem for a lot of guys, because they think that this is the end all be all. And the reality is the only thing you really need is game, which is just understanding female psychology. That's all it is. So step one, where you fall if you're one of these guys, is you're not approaching attractive women. All right. And you believe that this is what's necessary to attract hotter women. But having game is the only thing that's going to get you these. And more importantly, this helps you keep the girl, because the game is you. You are the game. Okay. So when you see people publicly going out and be like, oh yeah, all you need to do is do this. You need to do X, Y, Z. You need to have a photo shoot. You need to throw parties. You need to do all this. No, all you're telling these guys to do is to further gas up the egos of these women that are, quite frankly, unworthy of your audience. And if the only way you can get an audience with a woman is because of this, again, then that's not the right woman for you. She is not going to want to care and take care of you and be there with you over the long period of time. Okay. That's the big difference here. Now, the reason why this is a problem is because we have mainstream influencers, media, all this stuff saying this is the only stuff that matters. Now, I don't take a dating advice from any man that lives in Miami, because as we have been seeing as time has gone by as well, more and more people that are in Miami, influencers in Miami, dating, their dating lives are getting exposed. And it's turning out like, oh, they're buying girls jewelry before they even like get serious with them, paying rent, paying all this stuff. And we're seeing it. And it's just like, wow, terrible. You're never going to see some scandal about me paying some girl or any kind of nonsense coming out about me, because I don't play like that. I don't move like that. Right. And the best players, the best guys that are out there, they move in silence and they move in secrecy. Very similar to women as well, by the way, because they know that the more information that's out there about them is not necessarily the best thing. Okay. And you don't want to be part of that. Classic says Miami sounds fake and gay. Well, you are a very smart man, because that is true. Okay. So if you don't have a hotter girlfriend, the quickest thing you can do to increase quality of your dating life is to literally just start increasing the instances of girls that you talk to that you believe to be 10. Because what's a 10 for me may not be a 10 for you. Okay. And the only person who's going to give you what you want in life is yourself. So how is this girl going to know who you are? How is this girl going to be okay with you as a relationship partner if she doesn't even know who you exist, right? How is that even going to be a viable option? That's my biggest question to you guys at home. So you have to increase the quality of women that you're talking to, okay? And the way to do this, right? Because a lot of guys tell me, oh, like I can't go out and talk to girls. I live in, Hillbilly, Indiana. I live in Hillbilly, Illinois. I live in whatever, right? No offense to those people who live in it. We're all God's people, right? But what I'm trying to say is that, a lot of this stuff is just so, Tristan, we got to get on a call, buddy. Can you email me? Buddy, so we can get on that call? We got to do your consultation. We have just so much men just not taking enough action. That's the bottom line. We have thank you so much, Tristan. Thank you. I will talk to Paul today. Good. Paul's a great guy. Paul can help you out too. He's really good. But yeah, you got to make the approaches and you got to shoot your shots, man. Because another thing is this: you guys think you're going to live forever. You guys think you got time. You don't have time. Nobody has time. Okay? Nobody has time. Listen, you're not a hillbilly. What's like the fancy version of hillbilly? That's you. You're like the luxury hillbilly. I love you. But, looking at this is the biggest problem, okay? And let's talk about this. Let's break it down a little bit more, okay? So most guys, their volume of approaches is low, right? And why is that happening? Why is their volume of approaches low? Okay? Their volume of approaches is low is very, very, very simple, okay? Men do not see their true. So what we're looking for here? Value. Men do not see their true value. You're judging yourself typically from a female way of looking at dating. You think women want you the same reason you want women. That's why this whole looks maxing thing is just out of control. You got a bunch of grown men trying to be as pretty as possible. Pretty princess. And that's feminine. That's feminine behavior. That's feminine way of thinking. And then the number one thing women are complaining about right now is that guys are not manly enough. When you cold approach a girl, do you understand how much confidence that communicates to a girl? That you're just like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go and talk to you. And that's it. Because I like you. I want to take you on a date. I was talking to Victor. He's in the chat. And he was kind of asking me like, oh, what's like the best pickup line? What are the openers? Like, how do I put myself in like, pickup mode? And I said, that's a terrible way to think. And here's why. You don't need to be in like pickup mode. You need to be thinking, I am a guy who's living my life. I'm focusing on money, muscles, game, and frame. I am focusing on becoming an above average man. And I want what I want. I want an attractive girl. And you have to get used to in life seeing something that you want and then going for it. Because the average person, what they do is they see something, they decide that they want it, but then they begin this like onslaught of psychological attacks on themselves, thinking, well, you want that promotion, but you can't get it because your boss doesn't like you, or you want that talk to that girl, but you can't because you're too short. You're Puerto Rican and she only likes white guys, or you're Puerto Rican, she only likes black guys, or you're black and she only likes white guys. Whatever thing you're bringing up in your head, it's not real because you don't know the girl. You don't know who she is. You don't know what she's into. Okay. You still think and believe this crap, which is women just want this right here. Okay. And that's just not the case at all. Beverly Hillbilly. Good movie. you know, um, you know, are you okay, buddy? Do you need to talk to somebody? Doesn't matter this dating stuff if whites will be gone. Do you need to come talk? Are you going through something right now? Is everything okay? You seem to be kind of losing it in the chat. We can talk if you want to come talk. I can help you get through this. But I think you just need to calm down a little bit because you have a really toxic mindset that's kind of like permeating through the chat. It's kind of, killing the vibe a little bit here, buddy. You got to settle down. That's very unattractive to women as well. This like defeatist, I can't do it all mindset is like really, really bad. Okay. So you gotta calm down, buddy. Whites are being slaughtered. Where? This is a dating channel, right? Not like a race baiting channel. Okay. No, the issues with women who are 5, 6, 7, they think they're the prize. Challenging this mindset is considered misogynistic. No, it's not. And no, it's not. Okay. The great replacement is absolutely a thing. Yeah, it is, but it's not. That's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about how to get a hotter girlfriend. And I'm telling you, your guys' defeatist mindset is very unattractive. Very, very unattractive. Like, I know like Fresh and Fit, and they're kind of going political and all that stuff with the brand now. That's not what we're doing here. We're here to help turn men's lives around. We're here to level people up. So if you want to level up, pay attention. If you don't, this message is not for you. This channel is not for you. And I wish you well on your journey. And I hope you get everything you want. And best of luck to you. So anyways, let's go back to the volume of approaches. See, a lot of guys, they overvalue themselves in one area and then they undervalue themselves in another area. And they think that they can they think that they can figure it out on their own. But anybody who tries to figure out anything on their own, they typically cost them more time, more money, more frustration, and more hardship than if they were to get a leader, a mentor, someone who has already been there, right? And that's why my brand has been so successful, is because I have already done it. I have gone on a date with literally 1,000+ women. Okay. I'm an international dating expert. I've dated women from multiple countries around the world and not just had, quick, meaningless hookups, whatever, even though I have had plenty of those. But I also have the ability to lead and guide a woman, right? AKA my game is very, very high. And that's why me keeping a woman around is not a problem. Getting rid of a woman is a problem for me. It is just always troublesome, troublesome to, because when when a girl really loves you, right? Some of you guys talk to me about this. You're like, oh, I'm moving, but my girl doesn't want to move with me. She doesn't like you that much. And you have to accept it and move on. Because when a girl really, really, really likes you, she cannot even consider what her life would be without you. Okay? They literally cannot even imagine, nor do they want to imagine what life would be without you in it. And that's a big, 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 big thing. Okay? So that being said, you got to really have a very grounded and sober approach to understanding how to get a hotter girlfriend. Okay. So that's that right here. What are your approaches looking like? Are you leading with the wrong things, right? Even Kanye West recently tweeted out, he's like, guys lead with money and status and clout. And then they ask themselves, why do I only attract clout diggers? Why do I only attract gold diggers? Well, you're posting pictures of your Mercedes. You're talking about all this money you have on your social media. You're leading with the wrong things, and then you attract the wrong women, and you're like, oh, all women are terrible. No, you're going to get a certain type of fish if you use a certain type of bait. Okay. And another thing is this. Okay. The only reason that girl that you think is so hot in your life, 95% of that is because you haven't had any woman like her in the past before, or the most obvious one is you just haven't had sex with her yet. Every girl is way hotter before you sleep with them. After you sleep with them, the mystery, the everything kind of fades away. And then you're like, okay, now I'm here again with the girl. Okay. So that being said, that's the first step here is the volume of approaches and then having the right amount of game to keep her around. Okay. And this is regardless, hot girl or not, you need game to keep girls around, period. Nothing more, nothing less. Very simple, very easy to understand. Okay. So for you guys that do not have a girlfriend, okay, that is the number one thing here. You do not have a girlfriend because you're not doing approaches, right? You're not doing approaches at all, right? See, Shauna Holmes says that post-nut clarity hits hard. Shout out to you, my friend. And then Dr. B also follows up, says, very true. Smashing a girl does kill the mystery behind them. Yeah. So that's the first step there. Okay. Now, the second part here is kind of tied together. All right. Now, let's talk about you have a girlfriend, but you want hotter. And then we're going to go to you might be delusional next. Okay. So now you're here, you have a girlfriend, but you want a hotter girlfriend. Okay. So here's the thing. There does come a point in a relationship that if you're a guy and you're working on yourself and you're constantly leveling up, let's say you're focusing on the gym, you're losing weight, you're cleaning up your skin, your teeth are yellow like butter and you're whitening them and cleaning up your look, you're just really dialing in your fashion, you're cleaning up your house, you're leveling up. And see, the thing is, here's the problem when a guy levels up and his girlfriend doesn't level up too. Okay. So let's just make a little simple bar here. Okay. We're going to make a simple chart and it's very simple. Okay. This is your hotness, right? Your hotness is here. And then on the x-axis, we have time, okay? And so we'll put M here for a man, and we'll put W here for woman, okay? Now, as you level up, okay, I'm gonna put your hotness and also like just life leveling up, level up skills, right? You're learning another language. I started learning Japanese, my third language, when I was 27, 26 really. And then I started studying digital marketing, started studying how to be a better YouTuber, and just studying my inner game and how to just be a better person overall. And once you put work and time into yourself and you level up, okay, what's going to happen is let's just say when you meet your girlfriend, right? You guys are both here. You're both at like same level of hotness, for example, right? You're both here. And then so she found out like, oh, you know what? I like this guy. We're on the same level or within a certain range of each other. And so you kind of attract each other. You have to boss up and level up your girl too. Your girl is to a degree your responsibility to some extent when you're in a relationship and you're leveling up, right? So let's say you're going to continue to level up, but let's say she doesn't level up. Well, she only levels up a little. She doesn't want to go to the gym. She doesn't like listening to some certain things about watching her diet and stuff. The number one enemy of a good girl is her getting fat, right? That's the biggest thing. A good girl, typically, her vice in life is food, right? And they can get fat. If they don't drink, they don't party, they don't do any of that stuff. Typically, that's the only problem you're going to run into, other than like a little bit of like, typical female drama here and there. So if you have a girlfriend but want hotter and you're leveling up, your only option is to really also have her level up with you. Okay. And all right. Sorry, buddy. You're gonna have to just get off of this channel. You're just being too crazy, man. Katonia Blaze, thank you for joining us. I know you've been a member for quite some time, but really just this channel is not for people like you if you're just gonna come in here and cry about stuff that's not related. We're not here to talk about race and racism and all this stuff that's just wild. You're a little too crazy, buddy. You got to go. Thank you, Billy. Billy banned you. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay. I don't want to get stuck with some blue-haired feminist land whale. That's not going to happen. So, I mean, would you even talk to one of those is the question. And the answer is most likely no. So you just got to chill because it's not going to happen. Right. But here you have to level her up. It's your guide. It's your job as a man. Okay. Right here. Frame is the backbone of all relationships and leadership. Okay. So it's up to you that you have to do this. Okay. That's the only way. Okay. That's the only way. You have to level her up. All right. So this is it. If you want a hotter girlfriend, here's the thing. Okay. If you're not willing to level up yourself too, then you can only attract at your same level. Okay. You have to level up either her or you got to break up with her and then go back out there and start the whole sourcing cycle again. We're going to elaborate a little bit more on this. Okay. But more importantly, it's just very, very, very simple. Very simple. Okay. So let me make this a little bit. Let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, uno, right? So this is just your overall composite score. And then also you have to remember this is just not just looks. Okay. You have to level up the total package. Okay. This is the total package of a man, aka money, muscles, game, and frame. Period. Okay. The higher you are on this totem pole, okay, the higher you are, you can attract, typically in the most elementary way, you can attract your equivalent or lessers. Okay. Now, wherever you are, that's typically what you can scoop up, right? The total package. Okay. The total package. You got to level up the whole package, the whole thing. All right. So, this Japanese is a little weird. Yes, bro, I'm a bouncer. Dating culture is broken, Miami. Thinking about leaving. Get out, my man. Get out. Trust your instincts. You're right. Get out. Trust your instincts. I can feel the spiritual evil in Miami as soon as I land on that tarmac and get out into that dirty, nasty airport. And I could just feel it in the air. There's so many insecure people in Miami. There's so many liars. There's so many scammers. It is a very bad place for you to try to build a happy, healthy, loving relationship. If you're like maybe North Miami, maybe Fort Lauderdale, and you stay out of that Brickell area, but once you go to Brickell and you start looking for love, you're cooked, bro. You are so cooked. All right. But you have to boss up. Okay. You have to boss up. It's like if you play a video game, right? If you're like a level 1, let's just say you're level 1 in Call of Duty, right? And all you have is the M4, no attachments, whatever. You're not going to take out like a friggin', a level 55 10th prestige person. Statistically speaking, you're just most likely not going to happen. You don't have the skills to compete on this greater plane of things because you just don't know as much as you need to know. All right. That's a big, big problem. So you're not going to be able to attract the hotter girlfriend or get the hotter girl if you're not leveling up, period. Okay. It's like if you want a better paying job, but you're not qualified, then you're not going to get it. All right. Game is the ultimate equalizer. And you might be able to finesse a girl or two into bed and whatever, by not actually doing this. Maybe, you guys are both drinking a little bit, inhibitions are low, whatever. But the bottom line is you have to level up. If you want hotter, you must level up. Okay. It is mandatory. You must level up, and then you must level your girl up. All right. And if she doesn't want to listen to you, she doesn't want to follow your leading and your guidance and everything, then you're not with the right person, quite frankly. If she's gonna, kick back and give you nonsense and all that, why are we here? What are we doing? You know what I mean? What are we doing with this girl? Because it makes no sense for you to be there at all, whatsoever. Okay. So that's stage 2. You have to just level up. Okay. And then the third part here is you may be a bit delusional, but you have a girlfriend. This is going to be more of a painful piece of knowledge to talk about here. Okay. Now, here's the deal. Okay. I'm going to just tell you honestly. Okay. Sorry, I got all this dry skin from the lovely atmosphere of Tokyo on my shirt. You can't see it, but I can see it. So, okay. You got to understand some things too. All right. If this typically happens to guys when they have a really, really, really good girlfriend, but you get comfortable in the relationship and you just think every girl is especially if you have a good girl. If you've never had a good girl in your life, I feel sorry for you. But if you've never experienced like the pure love of a genuine girl with low body count who genuinely has burning desire for you and she does everything for you, she's truly, 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 truly in love with you. Okay. You get kind of spoiled, right? And I'll just talk about some things, great things about a good girl. Okay. Like She loves you. She respects you. She cooks. She cleans, right? This is how I see so many guys ruin their lives too. Okay. She loves you. She cooks. She cleans. She spends money on you. Okay. If she spends money on you, bro, she loves you. Okay. She spends money on you. Okay. She respects you. She genuinely cares about you. Right. That's also incredibly huge. She spends money with you. She respects you. She genuinely cares about you. All right. If you're a guy and you have all these things with a woman, all right, to be honest with you, okay, this is a very rare woman. This is an extremely, extremely, extremely rare occasion. And if she is genuinely down for you, I'm telling you, it is in your best interest to understand you might be delusional, because here's why. Guys look at this and think like, oh, my girlfriend loves me, respects me. She cooks, she cleans, she spends money on me, she respects me, she genuinely cares about me. Let me add some other ones, right? She is sober. Okay. A lot of you guys dating these drunk women, these drunks are like, I need to go have girl time. Like, no, you need to go see a therapist. Okay. And you need to go talk to a therapist right now. You know, and she has a good friend group, all married with or with boyfriend, and men are all traditionally masculine. All right. If you can run into these kind of things, because, you know, real women, they don't have guy friends, right? Because they know they're not stupid. They know, like, okay, duh, this guy, like, what do I have to do in common with this guy? He just wants to bang me, right? And that, like, right there, these things are so rare that if you have this, okay, and then you just want, but you just like, you're thinking like, oh, I just want her to be hotter. I'm telling you, bro, you're the equivalent of like that feminist that just wants to, like, you know, that is looking for the perfect guy. You know, the 666. Okay. You're the male version of that woman. Okay. Because this is incredibly rare. Okay. And moreover, what's ironic is this stuff here. Where's my thing? What's funny is the more you have this will level you up, because you're constantly with a woman who loves you. You're constantly with a woman who takes care of you, who respects you, and you're constantly coming, and then, you know, you're just like constantly getting healthy validation, healthy support, healthy love, healthy need from a great woman. And this does like a wonder for your soul as a man and your confidence too. When she does all these things and she doesn't do it resentfully, she's not like, you know, reluctantly doing these kind of things, right? This stuff here is so incredible. And then the most important part, I'll put this right here, especially for all you guys in America, she's feminine. Okay. If she's feminine, oh, dude, you've hit the jackpot, because this manly cohort of women in America are just so atrocious, in my opinion. My choice. You know, just not really what I, you know, not really my not my cup of tea, the old tomboy type girl, right? But this is what will level you up too, by having this with you. So you might be a little bit delusional thinking, I can just swap my girlfriend out like an iPhone. I can just swap her out and then, you know, just get the best version of her, you know, at the Walmart of hot girls, that there's hot girls just growing on trees. You can make your girlfriend prettier, and it's up to you to like level her up, boss her up and stuff too, man. So the opportunity is like, it's all hidden behind approaching. Okay. You have to understand your volume of approaches. When I was telling you guys here, your volume of approaches, this is supposed to be volume right here. I erased it from earlier. Okay. But majority of you guys are talking to girls in the 5 to 7 range. And then you're like, oh, well, I'm only attracting 5 to 7s, right? Well, how often are you talking to hot girls? Like, go talk to 100 hot girls. Literally, any of you watching right now, go and cold approach 100 hot girls and ask them on a date. And again, like I told Victor, right? You don't need some fancy pickup line or anything like that. I told him, I said, you are the pickup line. She already knows what you want when you go and talk to her. I said, go and just say, hey, I told this to Victor. Hey, how are you doing? My name's Victor. I thought you're cute and I wanted to come say hello to you. That's it. That's your pickup line, and own it. Sit there and own it. Okay. Have some frame with yourself. You know, a lot of you guys, what you do too, right? This is what other guys do. This is a problem, a pattern of like, you know, that stops guys from getting the hotter girlfriend. You only talk to girls 5 to 7 and exclusively you think you're a player because all you do is you talk to girl on dating apps. Sorry, man. Dating apps are easy mode. Don't get me wrong. Like I know how to beat dating apps. I know how to beat the algorithm. I talked about that, and I released my course in December on the dating app domination. But you know, dating app girls are typically not good for relationships because they're addicted to casual sex as well. You know, that's why they're doing it. That's why they're there, right? So, you know, you have to broaden your scope too. You got to broaden your scope, and you got to really get out there and really put in the work, man. And another thing is this too, you guys, like, you got to cash out your chips, man. Once you have a good girl and she's been good with you, you vetted her past 18 months, like, you know, what else are you looking for? You know, what else are you looking for? I need hotter girlfriends. Can you help me? Same thing to you. Just go talk to more of them. Tell them like, hey, I'm an old woman. I'm going through menopause. I'm trying to like, you know, have some more youthful energy in my life. And, you know, I want to hang around you young, hotter girls because I'm getting old and, you know, things are not tight like they used to be. Get out there, talk to them, introduce yourself, right? Another thing is this too, right? What a lot of guys do is you guys treat your life like you're just like some economic output unit of economic productivity, right? So you think like, okay, I'm just going to go to work, go to gym, hang out with my same 2 friends for my whole life. We go drink at the bar. You know, we really don't typically talk to girls, and then we go home, and then I look at porn or I get on dating apps or I try to make something happen. Nothing happens. Then I go to sleep, and then that's your life. You know, you have to become a social person. You need to develop a life. You need to go enjoy your life before you're old, decrepit, and, you know, your youth has left you and you can't do anything with your life. Okay. You really got to understand that life is going to pass you by if you do not actively take an approach to fix this. So go join a run club, go join a rock climbing club. What are your hobbies? Go and get involved in those hobbies, right? I love K-pop. Okay. I love K-pop. I love K-pop dances. It's one of my hobbies that I like. And I like to dance. I like to have fun, right? I don't care if anybody likes my preference in K-pop or not. I don't care if people are like, oh, you know, you're a 39-year-old man. That's really gay and creepy for you to like K-pop. Like, great. I don't even care what you think about me. I'm living my life. And you guys got to go out and just be unashamed and just go and find other people that like the things that you like. If you like to run, go join a run club, right? If you have like more masculine hobbies, you know, like all you like to do is fight and go to the gym and, you know, go to MMA lessons and jujitsu, like you're probably not going to find a girl. You need to find like another hobby that can make you a little bit more of a social person. And that also makes you hotter. That levels you up. That is something that is really, really, really attractive. Do girls find reading attractive? Yes, they absolutely do. It's like voted one of the I think it was voted the number one sexiest male hobby was a man that goes and reads books. So go join a book club, right? Yeah, so here we go. I got Delulu and thought there was going to be a better one. Truth was, she was the best one I dated. The past few years were just trash compared to her, you know? People just think like these quality people just grow on trees, you know? Shout out to, you know, Dr. Mellons. She's in the chat and she was saying like, you know, good people are rare to find. So when you get a good person in your life, man or woman, don't screw them over just because you're insecure and you think you like want a hotter girl, or, you know, you got to think about what is facilitating to a long-term, happy, healthy relationship. Now, I'm not telling you to go marry some hog either. Okay. But what I am saying is you have a good girl. As a man, it's up to you to lead her and guide her as the side quest. A lot of guys, you know, they get involved, they get their first ever hot girl, and you could tell when a guy is new with a hot girl because he's just like over supplicating, overly invested, overly patrolling, overly everything. And it's just like, dude, you are screaming amateur hour and you need to calm down and you need to fix and worry about yourself. You need to level up on your own. Okay. Because that is what's going to be the number one thing that keeps the relationship going, is you not losing frame of yourself because you're starting to focus on the girl all the time. That's no bueno. Okay. And then, yeah, right here is true. Kat says, Dr. Mellons, she says, a nice girl from a good family is all you need. So true, man. It is so, so, so true. CA's in the house. She says, so many attractive people in run clubs I've seen running around town. Yes, there's even a hit club that runs around together. Everyone seems so happy, friendly, and fit. Yeah, exactly. You know, you want to go you have to build your network. You do not want to be socially isolated. And that's what a lot of guys get, right? They fall into this place because they're socially isolated, and then they go to the internet, and then they're like, oh, you know, I'm going to read all this stuff about guys in the field. And then all they're really doing is linking up with other guys in their basement who are just writing all this terribly wrong information about women. They're like, yeah, this is the truth. Yeah, women are terrible. They're the worst, you know? Blah. And it's like, okay, really? Can everybody settle down? Can everybody go outside, touch some grass, and join us in reality? Because it's not the case. Social isolation is the fastest way to ruin your mental health, your personal life, everything. It's just devastatingly bad for you. All right. But, you know, I want to just continuously emphasize this because it's the truth. And the only thing I want to tell you guys is the truth. You need to up your volume of approaches everywhere. Clubs, social media, dating apps, you know. If you're out at lunch at work and you see like a beautiful girl at a food truck getting some tacos that you like, you're like, hey, what's up? I always get tacos here. You know, I've never seen you here before. What are you doing? You know, and stop being afraid of these girls. Just go and talk to them, right? Go and talk to them. And man, I'm telling you, it's way easier and you're going to get way more success faster than if you don't. Okay. So that's what we're doing in my monthly coaching with all these guys too. We're having tremendous amount of momentum and success in there. And if you're not in there now, I'm telling you, you better get in before it's too late. But going back to this, if you don't have a girlfriend, right? Well, you need to start doing cold approach, or you need to start approaching girls in general and make sure they're in this area, right? Go for the girls you want, go for the hot girls, and you're not going to get them immediately, but it's going to take some time and practice. Okay. And then secondly, if you have a girlfriend want hotter, the only way you can do that is you have to level yourself up and level up the girl with you. And if she doesn't want to level up with you, then you got to get rid of her and continue to level up and then attract the right girl. But if you have a girlfriend and she is on board with you, but you're like, still, I just want to get a hotter girlfriend, but she does all this for you, you might be delusional. you might be delusional, and you might be getting rid of something you think is a plentiful and abundant, and the reality is it's a rare thing, and you might ruin your life getting rid of that girl. Just saying. Okay, just saying. So if there's anybody with questions in the chat, let me know. Shoot them out right now. The fight gym I used to hit up had anywhere 20-40% women on any day. Isn't that abnormally high? Yeah, that is pretty high. But girls who are into fighting, in my opinion, are very weird, bro. They're not really feminine. They're all like, I don't know. That's kind of really weird to me, in my opinion. But I said all that to say this. You know, my monthly coaching is here. We're growing the community, and we want everybody to be on board. Take a quick look here, and I'll show you what you get right
What's
after.
up, guys? Thanks for watching today's video. We're going to get right back to that, but I want to tell you quickly about my coaching program, the Money Muscles Game Monthly. If you're having trouble getting women in your life, keeping them around, and getting dates, if you're having trouble with your finances, this is the program for you. It's a very simple program dedicated to solving those problems with you right now. Each of these coaching sessions are a group coaching session with live interaction on the second and fourth Sunday. Every month, we meet at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Zoom to discuss exactly what is going on with you, what problems you have, what roadblocks are in the way. And then from there, we come up with a special plan for you to get the results that you want. I know what you could say. There's all this free information on the internet. There's all these free content creators putting all this stuff out. If that were the case, the world would be healed by now, but it's not, okay? It's the blind leading the blind. You don't even know what's good information or not. You need a mentor. You need a group. You need a tribe, and you need to be held accountable. That's what you have in the Money Muscles Game Month. In addition to that, we have a free 24-hour support Telegram chat where you can link up with other like-minded men just like you who are dedicated to solving their dating and money problems right now. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, I want you to stop what you're doing right now, go to modernlifedating.com/monthly, sign up, and then you're gonna get an email sent to you with a Telegram link so you can join the Telegram chat and get on your plan to fix your problems immediately. Do not let another day go by where you silently suffer, lying to yourself, saying you're gonna figure it out, because you won't. You need help, you need a mentor, you need group support. That's what I am, that's what my community is. I've dragged myself from the depths of poverty to the tops of financial success. I've dated hundreds of women around the world. I can easily teach you how to do this, and it's a cakewalk. But it all starts with you going to modernlifedating.com/monthly and signing up today. Thanks so much, and let's get back to today's video.
All right. So here it is. When you sign up, this is what you get. Scan the QR code, top right-hand corner. You get a free 30-minute onboarding call. I'll be doing some onboarding calls for you guys who are getting in, who've already got in, and I'll be playing catch up here right after the episode ends. 30-minute onboarding call, consultation, develop develop an action plan to become a high value man, access to private Telegram chat with 24-hour support, 2 monthly live Zoom coaching calls on the second and fourth Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and a personalized strategy to get you more money and more women in your life today. That is what this is all about. It's not about the Jews. It's not about racism. It's not about political, whatever nonsense is out there. That's not what this channel is about. This channel is about you leveling up and increasing the quality of your dating life, increasing the quality of girls in your life, and increasing the amount of girls in your life. But it only starts if you start to work with me. Because if you could figure it out on your own, you would figure it out on your own, but you didn't, right? Because here we are. And that's okay, because I'm here to help. Now, let me tack on to the most important part, because I wanted to save this to the end for the people that really are serious about this. The number one thing that women, okay? The number one thing that women are filtering for now more than ever, okay, is, and Swiss G, this guy, the champ back-to-back pulls on the Hawaii trip. You'll see it in the documentary, which is coming out this week, by the way. Hawaii Millionaire Mastermind Retreat episode is coming out this week. That being said, the number one thing that they're filtering for is, are you a pussy? I am telling you, guys, I was in a situation recently that I didn't want to be put into, but it happened, okay, where I had met a lady from the United States of America, beautiful woman, gorgeous, literally a 10, okay? And we've been friends, chit-chatting for a while, but there's always that kind of like, that mystery, like, do we really want to do this, she's a little bit of a player, and she has one of these guys. Now, this guy is, he makes a lot of money, okay? And he has sent her, me and her have been on and off chit-chatting, for about almost 2 years now. And this guy has sent her well over $150,000 to date her, okay? Like $9,000 per date, flying her to Europe, flying her everywhere, buying stuff for her, right? Now, he's married, okay? And his wife has already had multiple affairs on him. And the wife is totally disrespectful to this guy, to the point that he's like, he's cheating outside the marriage, right? That being said, when I was talking to this girl about the guy, all she was doing and telling me was like, I just cannot put up with the fact that he is such a pussy. And that's what the word she used verbatim. He's a pussy. She's like, he's a pussy and he's a liberal. I'm just telling you what she said to me. Okay. But one thing I've noticed is talking to these girls, they have been exposed to so many weak guys that they are so jaded and repulsed by the average weak guy. They just think all guys, unless you completely stand out with your physical appearance and your aura is most important, that they are just kind of checking out too, straight up. They are filtering for if you are a pussy or not. Remember, when a woman tests you, you guys get mad. You're like, oh, a shit test. Oh, friggin' the woman is testing me. Listen, she's shit testing you because she wants you to pass so she can have sex with you. Did you stop to think that? No. Okay. She's shit testing you to see if you really are that guy. It's up to you to figure out, are you that guy? Because times right now are a little shaky, right? We've had a lot of wildness in America with the Biden administration and all that, not to get too political. But it's been shaky with the economy, the money printing and everything. And, now women are starting to see, money really isn't all that. The guy with status really isn't all that. They want a strong man with a strong frame. This is what they want, a strong frame. And if you don't have that, you're cooked. Like, I hate to be so direct, but you need to hear it. You're cooked, okay? If you're in your late 30s or early 40s and you're still not getting what you want, and you're not taking a large amount of action to get it, my brother, you're cooked, okay? You have to turn this around, and you got to turn it around now because you're running out of time, After 45, I mean, even up to 45 is pushing it, if you're trying to get girls, just the amount of younger girls are going to be less interested in you the older you get, unless there's some kind of money or clout or something involved, right? So you got to understand the rules of the game and play them right. You're not going to have a happily ever after story if you're not actually working on yourself. If you're not working on your dating skills. And watching on YouTube and passively watching me and then go watching other content creators and watching and just flooding your brain with data, what you don't realize is you're flooding with your brain with a lot of bad data too. Not only are you going to be harder to coach, we're going to have to teach you to unlearn some things so you can learn, right? One thing I learned about when I was at the Hormozy event, because it was just business at a whole new level, they were saying for some people, like, listen, for some of you, we're going to need to break your business down. And you're going to have to go from $3 million a year down to 1 million in order for us to restructure everything so you can get up to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, $100 million a year, because your foundations and your fundamentals are wrong, right? Like Yoda told Luke on Dagobah, he says, you must unlearn what you have learned, and you must relearn. You must wipe your mind clean of what you thought you knew and submit yourself to my teachings. And then, only then, can you get what you choose, what you desire, what you want. Okay. So you have to understand that being a guy that is weak in your frame, weak and insecure, which happens to everybody. When I was in my 20s, I was weak and insecure, right? And there's still parts of my life where I'm insecure about now. To be very honest, everybody has some kind of insecurity. Don't believe you're going to get to some end point. You're like, oh, wow, I'm like perfectly secure of myself, right? You're always going to have some kind of insecurity. You're human. You're a flawed individual. You're just a human having a human experience. But, if you're man enough and you're strong enough and you're ready and willing and coachable, we can turn this around, and we can turn around faster than you thought possible. So I just want to leave you with that. Okay. I just want to leave you with that. But that's today's episode. Short, sweet, to the point. How to get a hotter girlfriend 2025. Paul and myself will be back tomorrow. We're going to do another show. We're going to be talking about the Shannon Sharp situation, how it's been completely mismanaged mess. And another guy, Shannon Sharp, tall, jacked, decamillionaire, Hall of Famer, clout, everything getting exposed left and right now. First, he had the IG Live situation, which I don't even think, I feel like the girl set that up. I don't know. That's a lot of buttons to push to go live in the middle of having sex. And then two, just dealing with these kind of Jezebel kind of women who are really, really, really hot, right? And you're just, you're like an animal, like, oh, I need a hot girl, need a hot girl, need a hot girl. But you don't realize that you're inviting a poisonous individual into your life. Okay. So that being said, we're going to be back tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching. Quick and easy here today. We'll be keep on pumping out content this week. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.